This is a video with the TRE exercises for people with multiple sclerosis. Please read the text in the beginning of the video. These are several warnings and things you have to watch out for when you have multiple sclerosis, when you do the exercises. If you have other diseases, if you have been in contact with a psychiatry, please contact your own medical doctor before doing the exercises. The TRE exercises activates a tremor or a shaking in the body, which is part of the human being's natural genetic equipment for our survival. We see these mechanisms in all animals, and this is part of regulating the level of tension in the muscle and in the fascia. What we also see in the TRE exercises is a spontaneous stretching of the body, which we call fascia stretch. Both regarding the tremors and the stretching, please notice how long feels good. When do I need a break? How long is it okay to do the exercise? When you feel it's enough, you just step out of the exercise, wait for the next exercise and continue. In the longer parts, you can take breaks and go into the exercise again. The most important concept in TRE is self-regulation, meaning getting in contact with how much feels good for me today. How long do I need to vibrate? How many breaks do I need? Please enjoy the exercises. The first exercise. You go on the outside of one foot and the inside of the other, and then you move to the other side. The knees are a little bent to the other side, and again to the other side. We do that around 8 to 10 times. If we are on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 is totally relaxed, 10 is all too much, then when we get to around 5 to 7, then we stop. So for some people, maybe 10 is too much, and then we just stop when it's enough and wait for the next exercise. And breathe. Shake the feet. And just stand and sense the body. And then we move to the next exercise. Exercise number 2. The whole weight is on the front foot. The back foot is just for support. If you have some problem with balance because of sclerosis, then you can have a chair next to you, or maybe you stand against a wall. And then we raise and lower the heel. And the weight is all the time on the front foot. And we do that around 8 to 10 times. And breathe. And shake the foot. And then we move to the other side. Again, if you have some problem with balance, can also be some difference between the two sides of the body, then you just have a chair next to you or lean against the wall. And again, you raise and lower the heel 8 to 10 times. And if it's too much, you just stop. Again, shake the foot. Again, sense the body. Exercise number 3. Again, we have all the weight on the front foot. The other foot is just for support, and then you bend over. Relax in the neck, so the head is just hanging free. And then you make a small bend in the knee. The knee shouldn't get more forward than the toes. And then you stretch, a little bend and a little stretch, which you should be able to feel on the back side of the leg. This also we do around 8 to 10 times. And if it's too much, you just stop it and breathe. Get up again, shake the leg. Then we do the same to the other side. All the weight on the front foot. Small bend and a stretch. 8 to 10 times. The weight all the time on the front foot. Relax in the neck. Some will experience the shaking already in this exercise, and this is totally okay because this is what it's all about. Get up again, shake the legs. Again, stand. Feel what's going on in the body. So these first exercises are introduction exercises which helps the tremor mechanism in the later exercises. Exercise number 4, you have the feet quite far apart. This is very individual how far you can take the feet apart. The feet are parallel. We have the same weight in the whole sole of the foot to protect the knees. Small bend in the knees. And then you bend forward. Relax in the neck. And then we take 3 breaths here. Then you move the hands to the one foot or leg and take 3 breaths here. If you cannot reach the foot, you just hold on to the leg. Then you move with the hands to the other foot and take 3 breaths here. Then you move with the hands to the middle and stretch the hand through the legs and keep this stretch. And you stay there for 3 breaths. And slowly get out of the position. Take the feet slowly against each other and slowly get up. Again, stand a little bit. Some can get a little dizzy from this position. So again, sense how long is it okay to stay there, and you just get up when it's too much. Some people who have multiple sclerosis have tendency for dizziness, so watch out for this. Don't stay in the exercise too long. Exercise number 5. We have around hip distance between the feet, the palm of the hands on the lower back. and you go into a bow. You take the hips forward and you take 3 breaths here. Don't put your head too far backward or too far forward, so the neck is along in the arch. We stay in the bow, and then you turn from the hips, you turn the hips along, turn the rest of the body, also the head, and you can even look backwards, and you stay there for 3 breaths also. And then you move to the other side, move from the hips, the whole body. You can bend the knees a little bit more and also turn the head, and also, if you want, look backwards to stretch the eyes also. And then back to the center and stay in the bow for 3 breaths more. You can also, if you breathe all the time through the nose, you can also sometimes breathe through the mouth. And then slowly get out of the position. Again, stand for a little while and sense how it feels in the body. What has changed in the body? How does it feel now? This was the introduction. This was the first 5 exercises. So now we move to the wall, where we stand for maximum 5 minutes, maybe less. So you move to the wall, and this is where the shaking often starts. For some, it doesn't start the first time. Maybe it starts after 3 times or 5 times. So it's very different from person to person how long it takes for the activation of the tremor mechanism. This was the 5 first exercises. Now we move to the wall, where we stand maximum 5 minutes. For some, this will be less. This is exercise number 6, the highest 5 minutes against the wall. Some will shake against the wall already the first time they tried. Others, maybe after they've done it 3, 4, 5 times. Exercise number 6. You stand against the wall, you lean against the wall, bend the knees, and your feet is around hip distance, and the heels are a little further away from the wall than the knees. This is to protect the knees. In this position, we stand around 5 minutes. Maybe this is too much for you, so you notice, how long should I stand there? This is not a ski exercise. This is about self-regulation. So again, the scale is very important, the scale from 1 to 10. So when you reach 5, 6, or 7, you just move up 5 centimeters. So if it gets a little uncomfortable, a little too hard, then you move up 5 centimeters. Okay, move 5 centimeters up. So it's much more important to regulate up than to push the body. This is not a training. This is about self-regulation. Maybe you start shaking already in this exercise. Maybe not. But still it has a good function, and also will continue to have its effect in exercise number 7 in the lying position. Maybe the shaking starts in the legs, move to the pelvis, it can continue up to the lower back, maybe all the way up to the shoulders. Maybe you feel vibration. It can also be that you go into some fascia stretches where the body moves into spontaneous stretching. You can move 5 centimeters further up. Okay, just get out from the wall to feel how it is now. Just stand and relax. Sense how the body feels now. It's much more important to take breaks than to push the body. Especially when you have multiple sclerosis. We don't want to provoke any symptoms. There's nothing dangerous about provoking a symptom, but this is not what we try to reach. We are training self-regulation. How much can I integrate? How long does it feel good to stand there? Okay, get further up. Maybe you take the feet a little along. Breathe. If you find the exercise too hard, you can take the pelvis out, but don't push the pelvis all the way out. Relax in the pelvis, bend the knees. Many people find this position more quiet, not so provoking. So you can use this position as a break from the wall exercise. And then you can take the pelvis in towards the wall again. The most important thing in this exercise is to regulate upwards and to make some breaks. Some people, they need a break after 5, 10, 15 seconds, and other people can stand there for several minutes without having a break. Now you've been in the position for around 5 minutes, so just slowly get out of the position. Again, stand and sense the body. How does it feel in the body? The last part of exercise number 6 is where you bend over, bend knees, relax in the neck. Maybe you are in this position for 30 seconds, maybe a little longer. The hands are just for support on the floor, on the legs. And breathe. And again, sense how long does it feel good to be in this position. Maybe 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute. And then slowly get up again. Again, sense the body. And then we move to exercise number 7, which is lying on the floor. The last exercise. You can lie on a yoga mat or on a softer mattress. And maybe you have a pillow for the neck if you need that. And a blanket. We end with a relaxation, so it can be nice to have a blanket to take over. So please take your yoga mat or your mattress. Exercise number 7. Lie on the back. Maybe use the pillow or blanket under the head. And now just lie and relax for around 1 minute. Just let go in the body. Let your body be carried by the floor. Also relax in the head and in the neck. Sense that the head is being carried by the floor. Breathe. Then you put the sole of the feet against each other, the knees to the side, the feet close to the body, and raise the pelvis around 10 centimeters. It's not so important how high, but not all the way up. And then you lie in this position for around 1 minute. It's one of the most activating of the exercises. So maybe it's too hard for you to lie for 1 minute. So maybe it's only 10 seconds you lie there. So again, use the scale from 1 to 10. So when it's enough, you just put the pelvis down again. Breathe. Some will experience that the shaking already starts in this exercise, and this is totally normal. Then lower the pelvis, put the feet a little further away from the body, so you have around 90 degrees in the knees, and then you let the knees fall apart, and you lie there for around 1 minute. And you have a very good stretch of the psoas muscle. This is a muscle we especially use in the TRE exercises. And breathe. Then you move the knees 5 centimeters against each other and keep them there. Breathe. And some people will experience that the shaking starts already here. For others, it can take a little longer before the tremor mechanism gets activated. Then you move the knees 5 centimeters further against each other. And then move the knees 5 centimeters more. And breathe. We are in this position for around 5 minutes. But this is also a very activating position. So if the shaking are quite heavy, or you get exhausted, or other things that disturbs you, then you just move to the next exercise, or you make a break, you just stretch the legs. So in this position, you also use the scale from 1 to 10. So TRE is not about stressing the body or overactivating the body. It's about regulation. In this exercise, some will also experience that the body moves into fascia stretches. This is totally normal. You could call it the body's own spontaneous yoga stretching. Most will experience that the shaking or the tremor starts in the legs, and then over a period of time it moves upwards, up in the pelvis, in the lower back, in the shoulders. But if you feel this is happening too fast for you, it gets too overwhelming, or you don't like the loss of control, then you just take a break. You just stretch the legs and relax, and then you can always go into the exercise again. It's much more important to take breaks than to push the body. So now just stretch the legs, take a break. Sense how it feels in the body now. Some need many breaks. Maybe already after 10 seconds of shaking, you feel the need of having a break. And then you just take a break. With some people with multiple sclerosis, you will feel that some of your sclerosis symptoms can be activated or feel worse shortly. This is not dangerous, but then take a break, relax the body, and then you can go into the position again. The knees are around halfway against each other. If it doesn't shake in this position, then you can take the knees apart again, and then you can start moving them slowly against each other again. Then you make a little stressing of the muscles to try to provoke the shaking mechanism. After 5 minutes in this position, you put the sole of the feet flat in the mattress, around hip distance between the feet, and 90 degrees in the knees, so you can put the feet a little further away from the body. Breathe. So we lie in this position for around 10 minutes. many will experience that it continue to shake when you have the sole of the feet flat in the mattress. And this is not a stress position. So what you experience now is that the body shakes without being stressed. This is the shaking mechanism that all animals have available to regulate stress levels in the body. Many will experience that the shaking mechanism doesn't start the first time, especially when you put the sole of the feet flat in the mattress. So an easy exercise or intervention here is to move the knees slowly, in slow motion, apart and against each other. It's only a little movement. And this often activates the tremor mechanism. This intervention is only to try to start the tremor mechanism. So maybe you do it for 20 seconds, half a minute. But there's no problem if the shaking mechanism doesn't start. Some just need some more time before it's activated. Then just have your knees standing like this. You can also experience with how far apart you have the knees. You can play a little with this. Where do you feel more tremor? Where is less tremor? Sometimes you can also activate the tremor mechanism by experiencing with how far distance you have between the knees. You can have all kinds of phenomena in the body during TRE. You can have shaking, you can have convulsive movements through the body. The body can go into spontaneous stretching. Some also feel energy streaming in the body. When the tremor mechanism is activated, then some people will feel that the sclerosis symptoms get more activated, that maybe you don't feel the hand so much, or the neurogenic pain gets a little worse. This is no problem, but then just take a break and you can move into the exercise again. Just lie and relax. So a part of the TRE process is feeling your self-regulation, sensing how long does it feel good to be in the shaking process and when do I need a break. The TRE process can also activate feelings. Maybe you start crying a little bit. And again, the self-regulation is very important. How does it feel to cry? Is it okay for you? Or do you want to get out of it again? So again, it feels good for half a minute and then I want to get out of it and I just stretch the legs and lie and relax a little bit. The goal is not to try to get the shaking up in the upper body. For most people, it will take some time, maybe a month or two. We don't want to push anything in the process. Some people will maybe start shaking in the whole body already in the first session, but then feel, is it okay? Do I feel present? Does it feel integrated? When do I need a break? You can also put the arms out to the side. Maybe you feel a movement through the arms. It can also be just one finger start making a small movement. And this is the beginning of the involvement of the arms and hands. And then over time, you will see that the arms get along. Maybe it's a small shaking. It can also get into a stronger movement in the arms. Or maybe you get impulses in the arms or stretching in the arms. This position where we have the sole of the feet flat in the mattress lasts 10 minutes. But maybe 10 minutes is much too much for you. Maybe 2 minutes is enough. And then you just go to the relaxation. And then over some month, you will be able to be longer in the position. Don't push the body. Especially when you have multiple sclerosis, you have to follow the process. Look a little bit around, feel that you're present in the room. Breathe. Maybe the movement moves up into the neck. Maybe the movement which started in the pelvis and the lower back moves along the spine up into the neck. And then the head starts making a small shaking. Or maybe the head goes out to one side into a fascia stretch. Sometimes we experience that the head goes to one side first and stays there for a period, and then after it loosens up in this position, the head turns to the other side. Some experience most shaking, and other people experience more fascia stretching. Some experience that it's very small tremors in the beginning, and other again, they experience more heavy shaking in the beginning. But if you feel uncomfortable or unsure about the process, especially when you have multiple sclerosis, we recommend that you have the first sessions by a certified TRE provider. In the beginning, it can be difficult for many people to regulate the process, and then it's important to have professional help. Then just stretch the legs, go into the relaxation. If you feel the need, you can take your blanket and put over you, so you keep warm. And then you just lie there for 5 to 10 minutes and relax. The reason we do this, and especially why we do it for such a long time, is because even though the body got more relaxed, we also activate the nervous system. And by multiple sclerosis, it's the central nervous system that has been attacked. So we want to relax the central nervous system, especially if you have multiple sclerosis. Just lie and relax. Sense that the body can give in. Let itself be carried by the floor. Sense how the head is lying. Is it okay? You can also move the palms of the hands upwards, maybe a little out to the side. Some can experience that the body tremors a little bit, even in the lying position. This is totally normal. If it gets too much, you can roll over to one side. You can bend the knees a little bit. You just do what feels the best for you. You can also put a pillow or blanket under the knees. This can also stop the tremor in the relaxation position. You can also tension the muscles in the body to stop the tremor. If emotions come up in the relaxation position, it's totally normal. Some can feel a little sad, maybe some anger, can also be joy. But if it's too much, then you can get up, walk a little around. So again, sense how much is okay for me, how much can I integrate? How much do I want to go into this feeling today? You have been lying in the relaxation position for 5 minutes now. Maybe you want to lie there longer, 10 or 15 minutes. But if it feels like enough now, you just breathe a little deeper, stretch a little bit to wake the body, and then slowly get out of the position. So now you went through the TRE process.